Alright guys, the last couple weeks have been pretty crazy. We've been getting a lot of leaks and hardware 4, lots of different things going on, especially with the new event coming up on March 1st for Investors Day. Now I have all those videos planned out already, I just haven't had a chance to record it yet, but if you guys want to make sure to watch them, go ahead and hit that subscribe, that notification bell, and as soon as I release a video, you guys will be the first one to see it. But like I said, there's so much going on, I don't know where to begin. There's so much excitement leading up to the Investors Day event, and especially the Cybertruck which came out yesterday at the Engineering HQ event. All really crazy interesting stuff, but let's talk about the latest thing here, and I'm sure it's really important to you guys, and that is so-called the Project Highland. Now, I've mentioned in my previous videos that I don't believe the Model 3 is going to be the Project Highland version of the cars. Elon mentioned specifically the next gen platform is going to be another totally different vehicle from the Model 3 or the Model Y. Now, it's going to be a lot cheaper vehicle to produce, and in fact, it's going to be 2x the production rate of the Model 3 and Y combined. All the leaks that you guys have been seeing online with the 3s being covered up at the front bumper and the rear bumper, I personally don't think that's the Project Highland. That's going to be a revision of the Model 3, and now that we're getting information of the Model Y being revised as well with the exterior and the interior, it just brings up the excitement even more so. And like I said in previous videos, I don't recommend that you guys pick up a Model 3 or a Model Y anytime soon, just because we are so near to the point where Tesla changes out the old hardware for the new hardware. They are essentially just trying to get rid of old inventory, and if you guys are the unlucky ones that pick up the old inventory, I really don't know what to say. So now diving straight into this recent leak here, I'm just gonna call it the Project Highland because that's what everybody is calling it, whatever. But the Project Highland Model 3 is readying on the road right now. You'll see a lot of vehicles being covered up at the front and the rear bumpers. Now originally we thought that the reason they were covering it up was because they were changing something aesthetically in the front and in the rear, but eventually we found out that wasn't the case because the new leak of the autopilot board or the hardware 4 showed that there was 11 connectors, 11 ports for cameras. So that gave us a little bit more speculation as to where the camera placements were going to be, and we thought that it was going to be at the front bumpers to the left and to the right to handle with cross traffic. Now if you guys haven't already seen that video, I did explain everything and the possibilities of where the new cameras are going to be placed on the vehicle. I will drop a link up top there and in the description below if you guys haven't seen that yet, but it gives you guys an in-depth leak of what the new hardware 4 looks like, or the FSD beta computer. But essentially that board is an upgraded version of hardware 3, but it is completely changed up, and there's no way for a retrofit because all the different connectors, all the different ports, as well as it being capable of the new HD radar. So anyways, talking about the Model 3s that were covered up, the last couple weeks we've seen it covered up. However, there were some openings like the rear taillight and the front headlights. So if we just zoomed in on it a little bit, we noticed that it's practically the same. There's nothing really new to it, and like I said, we thought it was just the camera placements, but now something else has come up and it seems like that is no longer the case. Now just recently, the Kilowatts, I will drop his handle in the description below, but on Twitter you guys will see that he's found a couple interesting things ahead of everybody else. The first one being that the new cars coming out with supposed hardware 4 inside does not show that they have new cameras. It seems like just to be an upgraded version of the hardware 3, and the sensors alone just got a little bit of an upgrade, possibly to 5 megapixels, but there were no additional cameras anywhere to be seen. So the hopes of the Model 3s and Model Ys having upgraded cameras in the front bumpers are no longer there, and that means that they were hiding it with covers for some other reason. Now the same person apparently saw another vehicle of the Model 3 also covered up this time around, but something else was different. And if you guys take a close look right up front here, you notice the obvious headlights have been covered up with duct tape. Now this is pretty suspicious because why else would you cover up the headlight unless there's some kind of substantial change to it? I've talked about how the Model 3 and Model Y somewhat looks like a bug, the Model 3 less so, the Model 3 more so, but the fact that the 3 and the Ys don't look very good when it compares to their older siblings. First of all, the headlights don't look aggressive, and the front nose looks nothing aggressive at all. Now if you guys zoom in further on this photo, you will notice that the front lip there has been changed a little bit. Now because it's covered up, we're not sure how it might look when it's peeled off. You're gonna notice that with current vehicles, the front bumper is a lot more rounded off, whereas the newer ones being covered up is a lot more sleek and pointy. Now I'm not sure how this is gonna work with aerodynamics wise, because usually you would want the air to flow around it and not just right directly in front of it, but I'm sure Tesla has worked something out to make sure that it is just or even more aerodynamic than it currently is. Now if we move down to the wheel area, you're gonna notice that we do have new rims. Now take a look at it. It does look a lot different than what you're seeing right now on the base Model Ys and Model 3s. If you pull off your hubcap, you're gonna notice that the design of the rims is a lot more dull, whereas this one is a lot more angular. It looks a lot more aggressive overall, and I think this is the right step of what Tesla is doing, because a lot of vehicles in other countries right now that are also EVs, they look a lot more aggressive than what the Model 3 looks like. Now, in terms of why the back is also covered, I don't know. It could possibly be the camera placements like I mentioned, but the back doesn't look that bad, to be honest, in terms of what the Model 3 and Model Y has to offer. Maybe the taillight could be adjusted a little bit to give it a little bit more aggressive feel, but even if they kept it the way it is right now, I'd be pretty happy with it. But yeah, with everything going on right now, I don't know how much people are focusing on the Model 3 and Model Y redesigns. Definitely, this is not going to be the Project Highland that everybody's talking about. Project Highland was discussed during one of the events. I believe it was Battery Day, and they said that it was going to be a $25,000 vehicle, and most people mocked it up, and we've seen mock-ups from Tesla, and it looks something like this. Now, of course, this could also have been the mock-up for the Model 3, and it just transitioned to something completely different as we have right now. But I really think that Tesla is working on Project Highland, something that is a lot more cheaper, a lot more smaller, and a lot more robo-taxi friendly. So I don't expect us to see a totally redesigned Model 3 as you guys were hoping for. And in terms of hardware 4, I don't see that happening until the summer of 2023. If you guys are worried about not having hardware 4 on your vehicles, just wait until maybe June of 2023. That is when the production for hardware 4 begins. Everything else that you're seeing right now online are just pure speculation. Nothing has officially been announced by Tesla, so we don't know if the new hardware and the new cameras and everything else is even part of the hardware 4 package. Now keep in mind that Elon did specifically say that the changes from hardware 3 to hardware 4 is going to be too substantial for a retrofit. So if you guys are seeing leaks online right now of simple changes like the camera housing and the optics and a couple things here and there, it's not going to be the hardware 4 that Elon is talking about. So I'd wait out to make sure that what he was talking about is in my vehicle before I pick anything else out. But if you guys really are against that and you really want to take advantage of the incentive right now because it's so much cheaper and cars could go up in the future, go ahead and do it. Just don't regret it in the future and want to trade your vehicle in because your car does not have the latest tech. Anyways, this should be it for this video, guys. I appreciate you guys sticking along, but if you guys want to check out any of the other videos, I will drop it in the description below, and I have all the upcoming videos planned. It just needs recording right now. If you guys want to stay tuned for that, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, that bell notification, and while you're out, hit that like button as well. Thank you very much, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This is John once again. Peace out.